Let us now see the vitamin requirement for the adults. Again here, the adult man and the adult women, they are divided into the various work categories: sedentary, moderate and heavy. Vitamin A requirement can be given in terms of retinol or beta carotene. Vitamin A requirement in micrograms per day. Retinol requirement is 600 micrograms per day for adult man and adult women, while it is 800 micrograms per day for the pregnant women, and it is even higher for the lactating women, which is 950 micrograms per day. In terms of beta carotene, the amount of vitamin A requirement for the adult man amounts to 4,800 micrograms per day for the adult man and adult women. For the pregnant women, it is 6,400 micrograms per day, and it is higher for the lactating women, 7,600 micrograms per day. Thiamine, vitamin B requirement in milligrams per day is 1.2 milligrams per day for the sedentary worker, 1.4 milligrams per day for the moderate worker, and 1.7 milligrams per day for the heavy worker. The B vitamins, thiamine, riboflavin and niacin, is based upon the energy requirement. These three vitamins are required for metabolism, and therefore they depend upon the amount of energy requirement for the adult man and the adult women. And therefore there are variations in the amount of the vitamin requirement. The thiamine requirement for the women performing sedentary work is 1 milligram per day. Moderate work, it is 1.1 milligram per day, and heavy work, it is 1.4 milligrams per day. Pregnant women, we know that they are requiring more energy, an additional 350 kilocalories of energy. Therefore, they also require an additional 0.2 milligrams of thiamine. So, in addition to the earlier requirement, say for example, if the pregnant woman is a sedentary worker, they require 1 milligram of thiamine per day. In addition to that, they will require 0.2 milligrams, which will total up to 1.2 milligrams per day for the pregnant women. Likewise, for the lactating women, they require, for the first 6 months, they require an additional 0.3 milligrams per day, which means lactating women belonging to the sedentary work category will require 1.3 milligrams per day of thiamine. And if she is, the lactating women belongs to 6 to 12 months, an additional 0.2 milligram is required. So 1 plus 0.2, which will be equal to 1.2 milligrams of thiamine per day will be required by the lactating women 6 to 12 months. Riboflavin requirement in milligrams per day for the sedentary worker adult will be 1.4 milligrams, moderate worker 1.6 milligrams per day, and heavy worker 2.1 milligrams. The riboflavin requirement is 1.1 milligrams per day for a woman performing sedentary work. It is 1.3 for moderate work and 1.7 for heavy work. Pregnant women require additional 0.3 milligrams of riboflavin. If the pregnant woman is a sedentary worker, it will be 1.1 plus 0.3, which will be 1.4 milligrams of riboflavin. Likewise, lactating women will require an additional 0.4 milligrams during 0 to 6 months and an additional 0.3 milligrams during 6 to 12 months. Niacin requirement for an adult man performing sedentary work will be 16 milligrams per day, moderate work 18 milligrams, and heavy work 21 milligrams. Niacin requirement is 12 milligrams for a woman performing sedentary work, 14 for moderate work, and 16 for heavy work. Niacin requirement for the pregnant women will be additional 2 milligrams is required for the pregnant women. So if the pregnant woman is a sedentary worker, it will be 12 plus 2, which is equal to 14 milligrams of niacin for the pregnant women. For the lactating women, an additional 4 milligrams is required during 0 to 6 months and additional 3 is required during 6 to 12 months. Pyridoxine requirement in milligrams per day is 2 for the adult man belonging to various work categories, and it is again 2 for the adult women belonging to the various physical activities. Pyridoxine requirement is 2.5 for both pregnant and the lactating mothers. Vitamin C requirement in milligrams per day is 40 for both adult man and women, and it is 60 for pregnant women, while it is higher for the lactating women, 80 milligrams. Folic acid or folate, which is measured in micrograms per day, is 200 micrograms for adult man and women. It is 500 for the pregnant women. Folic acid is very important for the pregnant women. It is 500 micrograms per day for the pregnant women, and it is 300 micrograms per day for the lactating women. Vitamin B12 requirement is 1 microgram per day for both adult man and women, 1.2 for pregnant women, and 1.5 for lactating women. Magnesium requirement is 340 milligrams per day for the adult man, and it is 310 milligrams per day for the adult women, pregnant and the lactating mothers. Zinc requirement is 12 milligrams per day for adult man, and it is 10 for the adult women, 12 for lactating and pregnant mothers. Let us now see the vitamin requirement for all the other age groups. Vitamin A requirement in terms of retinol and beta carotene for the infants 0 to 6 months is insignificant because the breast milk will provide the required amount of vitamin A, and for the infants 6 to 12 months it is 350 micrograms of retinol and 2800 micrograms of beta carotene. For children 1 to 6 years of age, the amount of retinol requirement is 400 and the beta carotene requirement is 3200 micrograms. For children 7 to 9 years, the amount of retinol requirement is 600 and beta carotene is 4800. For the boys and girls, the amount of vitamin A requirement is 600 for those belonging to 10 to 17 years of age, and it is 4800 for those belonging to 10 to 17 years of age. Thiamine requirement in milligrams, it is 0.2 milligrams per day for infants 0 to 6 months and 0.3 for infants 6 to 12 months of age. Thiamine requirement is 0.5 milligrams per day for children who are 1 to 3 years old. It is 0.7 milligrams per day for those who are 4 to 6 years of age, and 0.8 milligrams per day who are 7 to 9 year old. Thiamine requirement is 1.1 milligrams per day for the boys 10 to 12 years of age, while it is 1 milligram per day for the girls 10 to 12 years of age. Thiamine requirement is 1.4 milligrams per day for the boys 13 to 15 years of age. Thiamine requirement for the boys 13 to 15 years of age is 1.4 milligrams, while it is 1.2 for girls. Similarly, it is 1.5 for the boys 16 to 17 years of age and 1 milligram for girls 16 to 17 years of age. Riboflavin requirement is 0.3 milligrams per day for the infants 0 to 6 months, and it is 0.4 milligrams per day for those who are 6 to 12 months of age. Riboflavin requirement for the children 1 to 3 years of age is 8 milligrams, while it is 11 for 4 to 6 years and 13 for 7 to 9 years. Boys who are 10 to 12 years of age require 15 milligrams of niacin, and the girls require 13 milligrams of niacin. Boys 13 to 15 years of age require 16 milligrams of niacin, while girls require 14 milligrams of niacin. Niacin requirement for boys 16 to 17 years of age is about 17 milligrams and girls 14 milligrams. Pyridoxine requirement for infants 0 to 6 months of age is 0.1 milligrams, and it is 0.4 milligrams for those who are 6 to 12 months old. For children 1 to 3 years of age, the pyridoxine requirement is 0.9 milligram up to 6 years, and for 7 to 9 years it is 1.6 milligrams. Boys 0 to 12 years of age require 1.6 milligrams. It is the same for the girls. Boys 13 to 15 years of age require 2 milligram of pyridoxine. It is same for the girls. Boys 16 to 17 years of age require 2 milligram of pyridoxine, and it is the same for the girls belonging to the same age category. Vitamin C requirement for the infant is 25 milligrams per day. For children, it is 40 milligrams per day. For boys and girls 10 to 12 years of age, it is 40 milligrams. It is the same for those belonging to the 13 to 15 year age category and the 16 to 17 year age category. Folate requirement is 25 micrograms per day for infants 0 to 12 months. For the children 1 to 3 years of age, the folate requirement is 80 micrograms. For 4 to 6 years, it is 100 micrograms, and 7 to 9 years, it is 120 micrograms. For the boys and girls 10 to 12 years of age, it is 140 microgram. The folic acid requirement is 150 for the boys and girls 13 to 15 years of age. Folic acid requirement is 200 micrograms per day for the boys and girls 16 to 17 years of age. Vitamin B12 requirement in microgram is 0.2 micrograms per day for infants 0 to 12 months, and for the rest of the category, it is 0.2 to 1 microgram per day. Magnesium requirement is 30 for the infants 0 to 6 months and 45 for 6 to 12 months. It is 50 for 1 to 3 years, 70 for 4 to 6 years, and 100 for 7 to 9 years. 120 milligrams of magnesium is required by the boys 10 to 12 years and 160 by girls 10 to 12 years. Magnesium requirement for the boys 13 to 15 years is 165 milligrams, while it is 210 milligrams for the girls. Magnesium requirement for the boys 16 to 17 years of age is 195 milligrams, while it is 235 milligrams for the girls. Zinc requirement is insignificant for the infants, while it is 5 milligrams for children 1 to 3 years, 7 for 4 to 6 years, 8 for 7 to 9 years. Zinc requirement is 9 for the boys and girls belonging to 10 to 12 years, and it is 11 milligrams for the boys and girls belonging to 13 to 15 years, while it is 12 for the boys and girls belonging to 16 to 17 years. So we have seen in an exhaustive manner the recommended dietary allowance that has been given for the various age groups and for the Indians. Let us now see about the meal pattern. Meal pattern is the number of times we eat per day. So this is usually 3 times a day. We usually eat 3 times a day. The morning meal is called as the breakfast. The midday meal is called as the lunch, and the night meal is called as the dinner. And 1/3 of the nutritional requirement should be provided at breakfast, 1/3 at lunch, and 1/3 during the dinner. The 3 meals should be treated as one unit so that the food needs are distributed evenly. Breakfast. The very name breakfast means to break the fast. We had been fasting during the night. We had not consumed food for the past 6 or 8 hours at night. And in the morning, you have to break the fast, which is very essential. A good and substantial breakfast is necessary to start a day with energy. And the breakfast can include a seasonal fruit like guava, mango, apple, and papaya. And it can also include cereal preparations involving the day-to-day items which we consume like idli or dosa or chapati. It should also contain protein, for which we can include egg or dal. School-going children usually neglect the breakfast and therefore they meet the consequences. Their ability to attend the classes and learn the lessons are usually affected when they consume a poor breakfast or when they skip a breakfast. It is important to plan breakfast to supply foods which are sufficient both in quality as well as quantity. Children must have at least half a cup of milk or milk products because they are in the stage of growth. So these are the popular breakfast which we consume on a day-to-day basis. A good lunch should provide protein and protective foods and not the starchy ones. It can include cereal, usually rice, dal, and leafy vegetables. A raw vegetable, fruit, and curd can also be included. And on special occasions, sweets may be included. Now we should analyze what kind of lunch we are consuming, particularly the adolescent girls who are going to school or colleges. What kind of lunch you carry with you, you should analyze. So a good lunch should provide protein and protective foods and not starchy foods. But we are doing the vice versa. We are carrying plenty of rice and a small amount of vegetables along with that. And we should revise or we should change this pattern. You should consume more of protein rich and more of protective foods, which means fruits and vegetables, rather than the starchy rice which we are consuming. Packed lunch menus of adults may be used for children also, because all of us may not be able to eat our lunch at home. Many of us will be away from home, maybe in schools, colleges, or in the workplaces. So there you have to carry a packed lunch, and the packed lunch that is used for the children can be the same as that used for the adult. However, whatever it may be, a lunch or breakfast or dinner, you have to have the basic five concept, and you have to plan them as a balanced menu. Lunch, whether served at home or packed, should be planned with care, because neglect of this meal may affect the individual's work. If you're going to carry only variety rices along with potato fry or chips, then you will not get all the nutrients that you require. These are the images of popular lunches. We have the South Indian lunch, the North Indian lunch, the variety rices, and the fried rice which we consume. Snacks, maybe the mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack is beneficial. Some people find it better than the 3-meal pattern, because they may not be able to consume more amount of food on while consuming a 3-meal. A mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack may sometimes dull the appetite, particularly when the snacks consumed are fried ones, and if they contain more of fat, when they contain more of empty calories. So you should see that it does not dull the appetite. These foods, if they are not properly planned, will provide only empty calories. So go in for more nutritious snacks, such as the preparation of sundal, which provide more of protein, rather than going for chips or finger fries. The popular snacks, so the snack will always include a beverage and a snack. So the beverage can be milk, coffee, or tea, and you can include other healthy snacks. Students, in this segment, we saw in detail the nutritional requirement for the different group of individuals. We discussed the RDA, and we also saw about the meal pattern, how the meal pattern should be, and what are the foods that have to be included in each of the meal. Thank you.